Hi everyone, this is Kristen with the Tech Reviewer, and today I'm here with some iPhone 14 Pro Max cases for all you Nomad fans out there. So we've got their Sport case and their Rugged case. So you might be thinking that the Sport case is going to be Nomad's Tough case, but I don't actually think that that is true. So this is more of an everyday carry kind of case. It's very slim and lightweight. You've got an attractive glossy back and metal buttons on here. The case is lined in a soft microfiber, it's MagSafe, and it's going to provide 6 feet of drop protection, which is quite impressive for such a slim case, but I don't really think that this falls under the category of tough cases. So the Rugged case is really the Nomad case that you want if you are looking for a tough case. So this one is going to give you 15 feet of drop protection. We've got protective bumpers here, quite a high lip on the back. Again, the same soft microfiber lining, and of course the case is MagSafe. Let's take a look at both of these cases on my iPhone 14 Pro Max in silver. Starting off with a look at Nomad's Sport case. This case is very slim and lightweight. It's approximately the same size as Apple's leather case. So we got very little flex to this. It's relatively rigid. The sides are made of a TPE plastic, not a lot of grip here. And then the back is made of a high gloss PET plastic. Looking on the interior, we have a soft microfiber lining, and of course this case is MagSafe. And as I mentioned before, you're going to get a 6-foot drop rating with this case. Putting your phone in the case is very easy. This case is easy on, easy off. So you want to start on your left-hand side, put your top and bottom corners in place, and then go over to your right-hand corners and clip those on. Once on, we've got a good fit on the phone overall. You do have some give over your buttons and a little bit over your port openings as well. But other than that, I think we've got a good fit on the phone. As far as the amount of lip is concerned, you have very little lip on here if you have something like a tempered glass screen protector installed, which I do. This is a tempered glass screen protector by Zag, really nice screen protector. But of course it does take up the majority of the lip because we don't have a whole lot of lip with this case to start with. So you have a tiny bit of lip left, but very little. And if this was a thicker screen protector, then you would have virtually no lip. So looking down here at our port openings, we've got symmetrical port openings for an asymmetrical port design, which is unfortunate. I wish that these were asymmetrical port openings for the asymmetrical port design, with this side being smaller. But other than that, no real complaints. So you're going to have plenty of space for most third-party lightning cables, although of course this case supports both regular Qi wireless charging as well as MagSafe charging, so you might find you use that functionality less than you otherwise would. Surprisingly, the bottom of this case does not feature a spot for a lanyard. So the port opening areas for Nomad's other cases have a spot for a lanyard on either side here, but you don't have one there. You also don't have a spot for a lanyard anywhere else on the case. So if you're a lanyard fan, that's unfortunate. Going up the sides of the case, so you have a little bit of a cutout here in the TPE sides. I think this indentation is attractive. It adds a little bit of interest to an otherwise dull side of the case, so that's nice. You don't have a lot of grip here with this TPE, but you do have a little tiny bit. And then going up here to our aluminum buttons, these are very responsive, clicky, lovely buttons here, no issues. And then going to our mute switch area, this is a little bit on the small side, but not bad. I certainly don't have any trouble accessing it. Looking at the view from the top, you can see you've got a nice fit on the phone here and an excellent fit here with this Zag screen protector. But again, not very much in the way of lip. Going over to our side button, again, this one is aluminum and it is very responsive, no issues. And then going down here to the bottom, you can see that we've got some Nomad branding. Looking at the back of the case, we've got a high gloss PET plastic on here. This is smooth underneath the fingertips, and depending on whether you tend to have sweaty hands or dry hands, this may or may not feel grippy to you. So sometimes I think it feels grippy and then other times I don't. So it's really kind of interesting the way high gloss materials like this work. It certainly has an attractive appearance, and I think that it's great except for the fact that I worry that it's going to scratch and show fingerprints relatively easily. So as far as the amount of protection you have here for your protruding camera, you have plenty of protection here actually. So the rim around the camera is more protective than the rim around the screen. So I'm not really quite sure what the deal is with that decision as far as Nomad is concerned, but at any rate, looks great and it should protect your camera very well. And as far as wireless charging is concerned, you're going to be able to use this with regular Qi wireless chargers as well as MagSafe chargers. So Apple's MagSafe charger is going to work great here. You're also going to be able to use this with other MagSafe accessories such as MagSafe wallets. So got a good fit here with the Apple MagSafe wallet. And then of course other MagSafe accessories such as MagSafe power banks are also going to work great with this case. Removing this case from your phone is not difficult. Just start in your top right-hand corner, push off that, go down to your bottom right-hand corner, push off that, and then take out your phone. Moving on to the rugged case, this is definitely Nomad's tough case. This is going to be significantly larger than the sport case we were just looking at. So it's a little bit taller and wider. The biggest difference is going to be in the thickness. So you can see this is a bit more of a handful than the sport case, but it's going to provide 15 feet of drop protection as opposed to 6 feet that you get with the sport case. So looking at the rugged case for the first time, one of the things which is probably going to catch your attention are the bumpers. So these bumpers are quite noticeable. They jut out a lot on the back. They actually don't jut out on the front at all in terms of the screen height, but they do add some thickness here in the corners, and they're going to provide lots of protection here to the back of your phone. And if you're the kind of person that worries about the glass back of your phone, then that can actually be quite reassuring. So I think that these are going to be very protective to the back of things as well as to the front. So this case has got the same microfiber lining that we saw on the sport case. It's also going to be MagSafe, and it's going to give you that 15 feet of drop protection, so really quite impressive there. The case itself is not particularly heavy, but it is on the bulky side. Putting your phone in the rugged case is going to be tighter than with the sport case, but not too bad. You want to start on your left-hand side, put in your top and bottom corners, and then go over to your right-hand side and then push those corners in place. Once on, we've got a good fit overall, although you do have some give over your buttons and your port openings. But what is a little bit surprising about the fit on here is how low the lip around the screen is. So with your sport case and your rugged case is pretty much the same. If you have a tempered glass screen protector on your phone, you'll probably find that you have very, very little lip. So there's a tiny amount of lip here with my tempered glass screen protector, but not much. And particularly considering the fact that this is going to give you that 15 feet of drop protection, it's surprisingly low. Pretty much just the same as with the sport case. Looking down here at our port openings, we've got symmetrical port openings for an asymmetrical port design, just like with the sport case, which is unfortunate. However, unlike the sport case, you've got a spot here for a lanyard attachment on both sides, which is great. As far as your lightning port opening is concerned, this should accommodate most third-party lightning cables, although of course this case does support both regular Qi wireless charging as well as MagSafe charging, so you might find you're using that functionality less than you otherwise would. So going around the sides, you're going to notice that you have this big bump out here for the bumpers, so those are going to be very protective. Going up the sides of the case, you do not have very much grip here. This is a TPU material and it's not very grippy. Going up here to our buttons, these buttons are quite responsive. No issues there, really a pleasure, although you don't have the aluminum buttons that you have with the sport case. And then going here to our mute switch area, this is not difficult for me to operate, but people with larger fingers might have more issues. Looking at the view from the top, again, very little lip here if you have a tempered glass screen protector in place like I do. But if you don't, then you're going to have more lip. And then going over here to our side button, this is textured, which is nice. It's also very responsive. And then finally we have some Nomad branding down here at the bottom. Looking at the back of the case, the first thing you're going to notice is probably the rim that runs around the edges here. So you've got a rim running all the way around, and then you've got your bumpers in all four corners, which are a little bit higher. So this is going to give a lot of protection to the back of your phone, which is excellent. It's also going to protect the case itself from scratching. So this PET material here on the back plate is going to be completely placed above a flat surface when the phone is placed on its back, because it's going to be resting up here on these bumpers, so many fewer scratch opportunities on a regular basis. This material itself does show fingerprints and greasy smears relatively easily, so you have to be careful about that. And it also has very little grip. And as far as the amount of protection you have for your rear camera, you are well protected here. Shouldn't have any issues there. Overall, the back of the case has got this fantastic rim around it, very protective, but we don't have that in the front. So that is kind of a puzzling decision as far as I'm concerned, but it does allow you to swipe easily from side to side, so that's excellent. And I guess you're going to be doing less swiping on the back, so maybe that's the reason behind that design decision. As far as wireless charging is concerned, this is going to work with regular Qi wireless charging as well as MagSafe charging. So you shouldn't have any issues there. We've got a nice connection here with Apple's MagSafe charger. This is also going to work well with MagSafe power banks. Loving this one here from Banks. This is a very nice power bank. And of course you're going to be able to use this with MagSafe wallets as well. So one thing here you might want to be aware of with Apple's MagSafe wallet here, for example, is when you slide it off to get to your cards, which of course you have to because the card access is on the back, you're going to whack up against the sides here just a little bit. It's not a big deal, but I do notice it when I'm getting this off. So there's just that little bit of a whack there. But you could say that it's probably a good thing because it's going to keep your wallet a little bit more secure on the back of the phone. So there is that. Overall, really quite a nice case for your iPhone 14 Pro Max. So overall, I think both of these are good choices. It just depends upon what you're looking for. If you're looking for super slim everyday carry, then the Sport case is going to be a good choice. If you want something which is going to be a bit more heavy duty, and if you're particularly concerned about the protection for the back of your phone, then the Rugged case is definitely something to consider. It's also got those spots for a lanyard here at the bottom. And 15 feet of drop protection is really quite impressive. So both cases are great. It just depends upon what you're looking for your iPhone 14 Pro Max. Again, we've been looking at the Rugged case and Sport case by Nomad for iPhone 14 Pro Max. These cases are both available directly from Nomad. The Rugged case is priced at $49.95 and comes in 3 colors, the ash green shown in this review, as well as black and a limited edition ultra orange. The Sport case is a bit cheaper with an MSRP of $39.95 and comes in the lunar gray featured in this review, as well as black, ash green, marine blue, and a neon yellow color called High Volta. Many thanks to the kind folks at Nomad for sending me out these samples to review. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comment section below, and do hit that subscribe button because I've got a lot of tech accessory reviews coming up. Again, this is Kristen with the Tech Reviewer. Thanks so much for watching and have a wonderful day.